Hi, this is Margaret with Recipe Amateur Investigator. Today we're going to make an Italian dish by Michael Symon. I saw him the other day on Food Network making this dish, but he did it outside and on a barbecue pit. Well, it's too hot here where I live, so we're going to do it in the home version, inside. So, what you're going to do is go ahead and cook a pound of pasta in salted water, which I already did. Use any type of pasta. I used this one this time. You can use any type of like a noodle. I wouldn't use any linguine or anything like that. Use some type of a noodle, not a shell either. I wouldn't do it that way either, but you could if you can't find any pasta in the store. So I got this. I got 6 tablespoons of butter in here. I'm gonna turn it on. While this is cooking, I'm gonna pour in 6 cups of mushrooms, and I use 2 different types of mushroom to make it more of a balance. So I used regular white organic mushrooms and portobello organic, and I already have these cut. So I'm going to put them in here. Perfect. Put that to the side. As everybody knows, we're going to stir this. I'm going to use the boom boom sticks. If you're Italian, you know what I mean by the boom boom stick. We all grew up with one of these. So we're just going to let these cook with the butter and just kind of get them tossed and cooked. So it's going to be a little bit. So while this is in here melting with the butter, you're going to get some salt. We're going to use a pinch of salt. Oops, that's not a pinch. So there is my pinch of salt. Put the remaining salt in there. And then you're going to cut up 1 small yellow onion, 2 cloves, and thyme you're going to use 1 tablespoon, so make sure you have all the ingredients. We're going to use 1/3 cup of flour. We're going to use vegetable broth, which is going to be 3 cups. 1 cup of the cooking wine, Marsala. And then we're going to use some black pepper, some fresh nutmeg, just to let you know, and some milk, whole milk, he said. So we got a cup of whole milk and 1/4 of Italian parsley cooked up. And then the cheeses you're going to use is Parmesan and mozzarella. So while this is cooking in here, I'm going to let these cook. Ooh, the mushroom's so pretty. Come look how pretty these mushrooms look. See? Pretty. Boy, they got some nice mushrooms at the grocery store, nice and big. So the mushrooms are in here. So the next we're going to do is add in the onion. Put the onion in. And we're going to cook this until the onions are translucent. So I got the onions in. I'm going to put the garlic in. So put the garlic. I never made this recipe, but I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I said, ooh, I have to try this. So got the garlic. Smells so good. Cooking this off. Then I'm going to put in the thyme, which is fresh thyme. All in. And again, that was 1 tablespoon of thyme. It's pretty neat. He did this all on the grill outside on a barbecue pit. So he even boiled his pasta on the barbecue pit, which I thought was pretty cool to do. So while this is cooking, we're going to have to let this cook for just a little bit. So give me a few seconds and I'll be right back. So look at the mushrooms with all the stuff in there and the juice. It smells so good with the onions and the thyme and the garlic. So next you're going to get 1/3 cup of flour. Put it on top. And then we're going to stir it. Kind of makes the sauce a little thicker. I'm just going to stir it because we don't want it to get clumpy. Okay. Kind of soaked up all that juice, but it's going to make a nice little sauce once we start adding everything else in here. Okay, so I got that in there. Then what we're going to do is get 3 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to put 2 in right now and stir it. Stir it. As you see how the gravy, it's making a gravy now with that flour. So we got that in there. Put this back on. Go cooking again. Let's add in another cup of vegetable broth. 1 more. Okay, there it is. Then we're going to add in 1 cup of the Marsala. Ooh, smells so good. 1 of the Marsala, the vegetable broth. Then we're going to do 1 cup of milk. And we're going to stir this up. As you see, it's starting to stir. Come a little closer so you can take a look at it. And then we're going to get some pepper. Put some pepper in there. If you want extra salt, put it in there. I don't use a lot of salt, but I do use a lot of pepper. So I got my pepper in there. He didn't say how much, he said to taste. And then I got my fresh nutmeg. Use some fresh nutmeg in here. Put some of that in here. Nutmeg smells good. When I think of nutmeg, I kind of think of the holidays. There's so much stuff you can make with nutmeg. Now I want a Brandy Alexander when I smell the nutmeg. And I do have a video for Brandy Alexander if you're ever interested in a Brandy Alexander. So I got that. You're going to mix this in here. Now, I already got my pasta made, so we're going to let this sit. Then he said to put in the parsley. So I'm going to put the parsley in. And this is the Italian parsley. There's so many different types of parsley, so I got the Italian one. Put it in there. Kind of looks pretty, huh? Then you get your pasta, which I have my pasta. Let me go grab it. And this is my pasta. I already have it pre-cooked. So, what he said to do is, I'm going to follow what he said, because he's the chef. He said to pour this mixture in here, toss it around, and put it back. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to pour this mixture in here. Get my spoon, so I can make sure I can stir this well. Break it up, because I just got finished cooking my pasta. So I'm going to get this and pour it in there. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Okay. I'm so short. So let's see. I know what I'm going to do. Sorry guys. I'm a little short, so I don't want to spill it too much of it. So I'm going to get my little ladle and kind of do it with a ladle. And then when it gets down in there, then I'll pour some more. So give me just a second. I guess to make sure we mix it all up. And then we're going to put it back in here. So let me just mix it. Okay, I think I can do it now. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have it all in here. And then I'm going to mix it up. This is a pot my mother gave me. This pot's probably about 75 years old. It's so old, my mother had this pot. So, maybe 70 at the most. Okay, so I have it all mixed up. So now we're going to pour it back in here. Because it's all mixed together. Let's get those mushrooms. And blue. Don't want the doggies to eat mushrooms. Okay, so I got all this in here. I'm going to turn this back on. I have my garlic bread in the oven. And now we're going to put the cheese on it. So, we're going to get Parmesan cheese. You're going to get, he said about 1/4 of a cup. So, one moment. I had just enough. And then 2 cups of the mozzarella cheese. Turn this back on. And 2 cups of the mozzarella. Okay. 1 and 2. Well, I guess this is how much it is. So it's a whole bag of the smaller bag. And then we're just going to stir it back up. Come look at it. Look how nice. And then I'm going to put a lid on it and just let it simmer for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to let it simmer for about a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. So we have this already cooked for about 3 to 4 minutes. I have it on temperature of 400 degrees and this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look delicious with the cheese and the mushrooms and the onions and the garlic and the thymes and all the other mixture? It smells good. My house smells so good. So let's try it. Okay. It's nice piping hot, huh? Let's try it. Okay, mushroom too. Delicioso. Fabulous. I love this. Wish my kids were home over here right now so they could have this for dinner. But I bet you this is going to be even better leftovers. I love pasta leftover. Well, if you like this recipe, click on subscribe. You'll see a picture of me, which would look like that on the if you're logging in on a cell phone or anything else, you won't see the picture, but hit subscribe. I'm on YouTube right here as well as Facebook and Instagram. I hope your family enjoyed this recipe as much as my family's going to enjoy it when they come by, but tonight I am going to enjoy it. Bye guys.